Good night, Shabbos, everyone. Shabbos, Parshas Ki Savo. Torah teaches us in the beginning of the Parsha the mitzvah of Bikurim, the mitzvah of the first fruits, dedicating the first fruits, bringing them to Jerusalem, making a beautiful declaration, and giving them to the Kohen. Torah tells us that this mitzvah, the Sifri explains that this mitzvah, a same mitzvah ha'amura b'inyan, perform this mitzvah because shebeschar tikanis haaretz. Because of it, we come into the land of Israel. In its merit, we get the land of Israel. What do you mean, because of its merit? Tikanes, you're going to enter into the land of Israel. We entered into the land of Israel 14 years before this mitzvah kicked in. This mitzvah Bikurim, bring the first fruits, didn't kick in the minute that we came into the land of Israel. The mitzvah Bikurim didn't kick in until we settled, until we had the conquest and the settling of the land of Israel. It took 14 years. Not bischara, Tikanis, it's not because of its merit, Tikanis, you're going to enter into the land. What's that possibly mean? Why does the Sifri use those words? In its merit, Tikanis, you're going to enter into the land. We entered into the land for a lot of other merits, but not necessarily this, because again, this wasn't around yet. So I'll tell you that it could all be because we have the word Tikanis wrong. We're translating the word tikanis as meaning that because of this, tikanis will come into the land. But maybe tikanis means something different. We know that Rabbi Yishmael ben Elazar said that b'inyan shnei dvarim, because of ba'avin shnei dvarim, because of two transgressions, amei haaretz mesim, the amei haaretz, the ignorant people, die before their time. Al shekarin l'Aron HaKodesh Arna, because they call an Aron Kodesh, they call an ark Arna, the ark. V'al shekarin the Beis HaKnesses Beis Am, and because they call the Beis HaKnesses, the synagogue, they call it a Beis Am. They call it a place of the people. So Maharsha asks the question, he says, what's the problem? What is a Beis HaKnesses? A place where people gather together. It's a Beis Am. It's a place of the nation. It's a place of the people. What's the problem with calling it a Beis Am? So if you look at the Rambam in Hilchos Tefillah, the Rambam says, "Kol makom sheyesh ba'asar miYisrael tzarich la'achin lo bayis." Wherever you have 10 Jews, you have to prepare a house. Sheyikonsu bo, that they will gather in litfila, b'chol eis tefila, whenever it's the time for tefila, for prayer, that they'll gather together for prayer. Makom zen nikra Beis HaKnesses, and this place is called the Beis HaKnesses. But if you look carefully at the language of the Rambam, it was unnecessary for the Rambam to say sheyikonsu bo. The Rambam could have said, "Tzarich la'achin lo bayis l'tefila," they have to prepare a house for tefillah. Why sheyikonsu bo l'tefila, that they enter into it to tefillah? Because I think what the Rambam is telling us is he's teaching us what a shul is all about. And that is not just a place to go into daven, but sheyikonsu bo, that we should gather together there, that we should connect to each other there. It's not merely that 10 people go there to pray, but sheyikonsu bo asara, that we gather together and we connect and we become a part of each other. We make a connection to each other. We make a connection to Rebbeinu Shalom. And that's what the word Knisa means. That's what it means when we say that we come in. It's not just entering. It's not just gathering, but it's a connection. That's why, when we talk about hospitality, we use the word hachnosas orchim, because you're not merely bringing them into your house, you're making a connection with them. When we talk about those people that bring in Shabbos, we're not just talking the machnise Shabbos. It's not just that they bring in Shabbos, but that they connect to Shabbos. That's what the Sifri means. That is because of this mitzvah, shebischara tikanes la'aretz. It's the mitzvah Bikurim that causes us to connect to the land. But what is it about the mitzvah of Bikurim that causes us to connect to the land? That causes us to connect to anything. Because what is the mitzvah of Bikurim? The mitzvah of Bikurim is not merely bringing the first fruit, but it is recognizing that where did those first fruits come from? These fruits came from God. That this was a product of the Rebbeinu Shalom. This was a gift of the Rebbeinu Shalom. That it allows us to be makar tov. It allows us to feel a sense of gratitude. And when you feel a sense of gratitude to something, you become connected to it. When I don't take you for granted, I feel connected to you. When I recognize your input in my life, when I recognize the value of a person or thing's input in my success, in my existence, so then I feel a sense of gratitude. I feel a sense of connection. That's the mitzvah bikurim. That shebischara tikonis la'aretz. You want to connect to the land of Israel? Recognize its value and its importance in your life. But if that's what the mitzvah bikurim does, if that's what the concept of knisa is, then why is there making such a big deal about the first fruits? Make a big deal about the best fruits. Why don't we send the guy down to his farm and down to his field and look not for the first, but for the best, and choose the best. And in that way, you take that, you don't take that for granted, but it's on the best food, and then you make this incredible connection. Because the Torah is teaching us an incredible thing. What the Torah is telling me is that foundations are critical. And that it's all about how you set the tone. We know that the first time that we do something, those first fruits that grow, it doesn't make a difference if they're a little bit dwarfed, if they're a little bit wormy, if they're a little bit off. But this is the byproduct of what we've done. There's a specialness to it. And it sets the tone of the way we look at all the fruits that come. Everything that comes after this is an amazing gift from the Rebbeinu Shalom. And it allows me to forge a connection. Connections are forged by the way we begin things. And even though kol haschalas kashas, the beginnings of things are very difficult, when we're able to recognize the value of that beginning and the beauty and the preciousness of that beginning, we can create a relationship with that is unbreakable. You know, it's fascinating that there's a concept that the first time a word appears in the Torah, that sets its tone, that forges its connection. It's what the real meaning of the word is. And then every time it's used in that context. Because foundations are critical. The first time you do something, that's going to set the tone for the way you are for the rest of your life. That's what the month of Elul is. The month of Elul is setting the tone for how you're going to begin your year. The beginning of your year is going to set the tone for the rest of the year. If at the beginning of the year we're recognizing how awesome it is, the gifts that HaKadosh Baruch Hu have given us. If we can take an apple and we can say, wow, this is a chance to bless the Rebbeinu Shalom. If we can take fruits and vegetables and we can see through them an opportunity to be able to ask and to request for a beautiful year. If we don't take anything around us for granted, we can forge these incredible connections. But it's all about how things begin. And if they begin correctly, then the connections that need to be made can be made. And then the appreciation and the love that comes out of that which we have and that which we do will be that much greater. What the year is going to look like, it's all tully in the beginning. What your life is going to look like, it's tully in the beginning. What your marriage is going to look like, it's tully in the beginning. It's all about foundations. Foundations are critical. That's when relationships are forged. That's what the Sifri is telling us. Shebischara, bischar, this mitzvah, and reward for this mitzvah of bikurim, of recognizing the value of those gifts that we've been given. Tikonis la'aretz, will be able to create a relationship with the land of Israel, ability to be able to create a relationship with the people of Israel, and an ability to be able to create a relationship with the God of Israel and with the Torah of Israel. Because that's what it's all about. not just getting together, but forging a relationship with all the things that we have in our lives. That's what we're holding right now. We're holding in the month and in the season of rejuvenating our relationship with each other, our relationship with God, our relationship with Torah, our relationship with everything around us. We should have a beautiful, amazing, awesome Shabbos where we don't just enter into Shabbos, but we forge a relationship with it, with our families, and with the Master of the universe. Have a beautiful Shabbos.